From the Panhandle Area Educational Consortium in Chipley, Florida, welcome to the 43rd Annual Leadership Conference. Their hearts, their minds, our purpose.
For 43 years, PAEC has hosted this leadership conference, bringing you the very, very best in professional development, and this year is like every other, possibly even better. The theme this year is their hearts, their minds, our purpose. You know, as educators, we all know how difficult that your job can be, but not today. We invite you to sit back and just relax and enjoy all of our featured speakers. And let me tell you, as I've said before, we certainly have some great ones on hand here today. Our next speaker is sponsored by PAEC's Risk Management.
Harvey Alston is considered one of the most dynamic and in-demand speakers in America. As an educator and author, millions have heard his unforgettable words about individual responsibility and reaching for the best. This former high school football coach has paid his dues in the classroom as a teacher of English, biology, health, life sciences, and math. Harvey Alston has learned the keys to success by living them, and his philosophy has been chronicled in his book, Be the Best.
You know all the good old folks sayings. They got them for you. And I know I'm going to have you come on along to be, and here it is. They start out, old people do, with the #1 lecture series. It starts like this, little hand on the hip. If I've told you once, I've told you. That's right. And everything I tell you just seems to go in one ear and see, you don't realize how difficult life was back in my, because we used to have to 35 miles to school.
Ladies and gentlemen, the PAEC Risk Management Team is proud to introduce our keynote speaker, Mr. Harvey Alston.
Woo. All right. Thank you so much for having me here. Thank the consortium. I tell you, this is just fantastic. And right after lunch, when most people get a little tired, here I am. So how are you doing? Great. Absolutely, absolutely. I love it. Where's my elementary people? Elementary? Where is my middle school people? Just a few of them. All right, where are the high school people? Absolutely, I love it. When I do these conferences, K through 12, I can usually tell where you are. My elementary people act like elementary people. Oh, you can spot them anywhere. Yes, you can. They walk around with the little sweaters with little busters and crayons on them. And they speak like little elementary people, like, hi, how you doing? My middle school people act just like middle school kids. They wear off on sometimes. So mostly you'll see them, they're very hyperactive, ADD, can't sit still. And then when we get to the high school level, we become sophisticated. We come to the conferences, we fold our arms across our chests. Motivate me if you can. I love it. But what an eclectic group that we have to work with. And that's what our leadership program's about. Today we're going to talk about leadership. Academic leadership. We're going to talk about the leadership that we need from our teachers and the leadership that we need from our students. All those things are important. We set the pace each and every day when we open up the doors. What do we do that corporate America does? What do we do not do that corporate America does? And we don't market ourselves. We don't celebrate the goodness. We don't let everybody know how great we are. When we do our teacher in services, a lot of times across the country, I am there. What do? Oh, ho, hum. Here we are. We're back to school. We had a short break. Now we got to start back. Nobody really gets the bandwagon going. Nobody really gets the celebration. Nobody has the cheerleaders out front saying, this is the best. We are the best. And when the little kids come, we're going to celebrate them because, wow, we have job security. Here they come. No, we've got to take it up to that level where we celebrate each and every day. When our students come back, that we are happy to see them, and that we are marketing ourselves in our buildings. That's what we need to do. What are we doing when we don't do those kinds of things? We're taking it on a downhill spin each and every day. How many times have we been there and somebody comes in, they says, oh, education is just about the same. I've been there. I've seen it. I was there when we did schools without walls. Put them back in, didn't we, huh? And then we come up with these great ideas sometimes about how to help our schools and what we should do. So we get flu books. We go and get them and we say, oh, this year we're going to do like Who Moved My Cheese? And we do Who Moved My Cheese? And some people buy into it and some people wonder, where's the wine with that cheese that you're serving? And then we do the Eagle program and the Buzzard program. But if we've been around long enough, we've seen the eagle fly and land, and we don't like it, you know. And then somebody will get up and they'll do the geese story, you know. The geese fly, one geese drops, the other geese pick up. And then that's a nice little story if you don't live on a golf course. I live on a golf course. I can't stand them little geese wandering around, okay? And then they did the Seattle Fish Market, and some of the people bought into the Seattle Fish Market. I didn't like that either because it talks about people throwing stinky fish around, and they think that they can relate that to school in some kind of manner. The people throw fish, they like the fish, they're happy, they sing because they have stinky fish. But because they can take and say, oh, I got bad fish, they can send it back. We can't send back bad kids. We have to learn how to work with them and teach each and every one that we have. Absolutely. This is what life is about, but yet we do those kinds of things each and every time. I ask my teachers and fellow people that we work with all the time, what do we really do in life? What is our purpose? What is our meaning? And sometimes we get confused because we get tied up with, well, we've got to pass this bill. We've got to pass this levy. We've got to work with this. We've got all these things coming down from the State Department and the National Education Program and reform this. Everything that we do, we're in the same business, whether we're an administrator today, whether we are a former classroom teacher or coach, which I see in here. All of us, principals, assistant principals, we're in the same job. I was doing a little program, and I do it on the elementary, and I love the elementary kids, and I was asking them, you know, does anybody know what a hero is? And a little girl raised her hand. She said, Mr. Alston, I think I know. And I was expecting, you know, from 4th and 5th grade kids, some of the same things like, oh, Superman, Batman, or something along that lines. But this girl raised her hand and said, Mr. Alston, I think I know. I said, tell me, sweetheart. She said, a hero is somebody that helps somebody. Somebody that makes a difference in somebody's life. And I said, wow, you were absolutely right. That's what a hero is. So when I ask you what your jobs are, you're in the business of saving lives. You're in the business of helping people. You're in the business of transforming young hearts. That's what we do each and every day. And when we believe that, it makes a difference on how we walk, how we talk, how we view our associates and everything we do in the building because we know we have a common purpose. We are in the business of saving lives. Say it with me. I'm in the business of saving lives. Let me tell you how you save lives. You feed the hungry. And I'm not talking about cafeteria food, food stamps, or anything along that lines. I'm talking about hungry little children who are hungry for love, who come to us because they've been fussed at, they've been put down. They've been told that they're no good, that they cannot achieve, that they're not going to be anything in life. And yet we are there collectively with our systems saying, yes, you can. You can be anything you want to if you put your mind to it. And sometimes those little kids, they'll latch on to you and they'll find that one individual and they'll come to you and ask you the same question every day, over and over, just like they don't know the answer. Like, what time we're going to have lunch today? And see, at the beginning of the year, you want to say, oh, sweetheart, or young man, we're going to have lunch when the big hand's here and the other hand's here. But this time of the year, when that same little obnoxious child is asking you for the 1,000th time, what time we're going to have lunch today? You want to say, look, child, we're going to have lunch the same damn time we always have it. But you know you can't do that, can we? Oh, what do? We nourish the sick. And I'm not talking about sending them to the nurse's office either. I'm talking about the sick at heart. Someone who has been put down so long, they have forgotten what up looks like. And what do we do each and every day? We lift that heart up and we tell them that they are special little people, that they can be something in life. Some of our children are fussed at in a harsh manner. Not like the manner we had, as you saw in the introduction, where we just made up little stories. No. Some of the parents nowadays are telling their children, you remind me of your no good dad, never paid child support since you were born. You remind me of your no good sister. You're going to grow up and be just loose like her. You know, all these kinds of things people are telling children. Their hearts are broken. They're broken inside. And yet, what do? We mend their little broken hearts. And I love educators because I was one and I know what we do. When we go to conferences like this, they give you little bags. And what do? You were so happy to get your little backpack with all the little gifts that are in there. And then you look around, anything that's set down that you can pick up and put in there. Supplies. I'll use that deck of cards somewhere. You put it in the bag. Yes, we do. We gather stuff. We ride down the roads and see yard sales. We stop and buy little crappy stuff, not for ourselves, but for our classroom because we don't have anything. We just gather and we have that little junk drawer. And in that junk drawer, there's all kind of little stuff you'll never use. And some kid comes in crying. Somebody called me a name. Somebody said something. You reach in there and grab out a sticky, a wiggly or something, and you smack it on their forehead and said, "Hi, you are my special child." And they smile. As Shakespeare said, people ulcerous and swollen, pitiful to the eye, the mere despair of surgery we cure by hanging some type of sundry blessing about their neck as we speak them full of grace. And that's what you do. You speak them full of grace. You are heroes because you are in the business of saving lives. My heroes, say it again with me. I'm in the business of